I was just on the phone with a client and he said to me, I still talk bad about people. And I said, it's okay. No one's judging you. We've all done it. We all still do it sometimes. It's life. We're learning. And there comes a point where we learn how not to do that. And that is called evolution. You learn how to not do the things that are hurting you. But no one's judging you. You just haven't learned it yet. So you have to be kind to yourself, because if you're judging yourself for judging people, then you're not really getting anywhere. You have to give yourself grace. You have to give yourself compassion and just do better next time. That's it. I wish more people would understand that the thing that you're doing that's still hurting you, it's only because you haven't learned how not to do it. And once you learn how not to do it, then you'll have evolved a little more and a little more and a little more. And you won't want to go back because you know that it hurts you and it hurts others. I know for me, when I've talked about other people, whether it was, I'm not really someone to talk bad about someone, but I've done things where I talk about a situation and how it makes me feel. And even that's tough for me. So what I've learned to do now is how to talk about how I feel. I don't need to involve other people in that conversation. A lot of times we do that for others, right? We want other people to get the context of what we're going through. So we use the situation as a reference point, which I think is fine. There's nothing wrong with it until it's not fine, until you realize, am I doing this for the person I'm speaking to? And usually the answer is yes. So how can I make this cleaner? I will talk about how I'm feeling, because here's the thing, a lot of times when you talk about other people is because you're not wanting to get vulnerable, right? That's all. You're just not wanting to show your feelings. So instead of saying, Mary did this to me, or Jonathan or Justin did this to me, you say, I'm feeling hurt right now. This thing happened and it caused me to feel this way. And then the level after that is you say, I'm feeling this way. You don't need the reference point. You don't need the story anymore. But this is a gradual process, and you're going to slip and you're going to fall. I do it all the time. There are things that I do sometimes that I'm not proud of. And then I go, you know what? It's okay, Phil. You had a moment where you slipped into being unconscious, and it only takes a millisecond to be unconscious and then to partake in a behavior that's not healthy. But then you go, you know what? That makes me feel bad. I don't like the way that makes me feel. So I have to do better. I have to remain more mindful. It's how we get injured too. We're trying to multitask and we're trying to do many things at the same time, and then we get injured. It's just, we're being called into more mindfulness, more presence. If you're present, then you'll be fine. Then you won't mess up as much. But if you mess up, it's just because you haven't learned it yet. That's all. And you're going to someday learn how not to talk about people, because you know that when you talk about them, you're really hurting yourself. Truly, you're hurting them and yourself. It makes you feel like crap. And then once you learn how not to do it, then you keep going to higher levels. Then you go, oh my God, how can I make this even cleaner? Now I don't need to talk about the context anymore. I can just talk about how I'm feeling. And that's it. All right? So if you're still in toxic relationships, if you're still gossiping, if you're still doing whatever it is that's hurting you or others, okay, or you're placing yourself in situations that are hurting you, it's only because you haven't learned how not to be in a toxic relationship, how not to talk about people. And it's all good. No one's judging you. It's all good. I love you.